So we've received our first question in the group, which I'm going to respond to by video. We've got here, Lewis posted, better sleep quality. For a few months now, I've been waking up tired, regardless of how much sleep I get. Can anyone please give me some tips on getting better quality sleep? First of all, I've been there. There's no doubt there's been a lot of times in my life where my sleep was terrible. Still working on it now, but I can think of a few things right off the bat which I think are going to give you some quick wins and improve your sleep straight away. Obviously, don't know anything more about your situation to make it any more personalized, but here's some generic advice that I think could be good. So I just wrote down a couple points. I'll run through them now. The first one being to optimize your circadian rhythm. No brainer. I feel like nowadays people are pretty aware of this stuff. But if you're not already, I would say that because your brain operates on a circadian clock, you need to make sure you're doing the same things, generally speaking, at the same time. You know, you wake up at the same time, you go to bed at the same time. If by extension, if possible, you can exercise at a similar time, eat food at a similar time, do things like that. I know life gets in the way, not every day is the same, but I think the easiest thing to control is to wake up and go to bed at a consistent time every day. I think that's extremely important. I mean, if you're not doing that already, just do that and ignore everything else. I think you're going to get a lot better sleep. Number two would be to get as much sunlight as you can in the morning as early as possible. So as soon as you wake up, get light into your eyes. Ideally, you do it straight away, directly into your eyes, meaning no contacts, no glasses, no windows, no nothing, just directly into your eyes. This means obviously you have to go outside or open a window fully to the extent where you can get light in your eyes. It doesn't mean you look at the sun. Obviously, don't look at the sun. Just be outside, get that light in. Obviously, you can look just to the side of the sun, but obviously all of the light in the sky at that time of day is going to be the morning sunlight from the sun. So that's important because there's specific wavelengths in that light which are going to signal to your body, okay, it's the morning. When I say your body, there's some cells in your eyes that do that. Long story short, get some light into your eyes. If you can't, as in it's raining or you only don't have enough time or whatever, you can use the red light panel. That's a good substitute. But obviously nothing will beat getting sun in your eyes. If you don't have time, just wake up slightly earlier to do that. You'd rather wake up earlier, have less total sleep, but get sunlight in your eyes in the morning, you'll have a more restful sleep. So that's very important. Then I would also say at the end of the day, make sure you don't get any blue light into your eyes. That's going to destroy your circadian rhythm. Straight blue light, and when I say blue light, I mean artificial blue light from the lights in your ceiling, the devices you use, technology, LED lights. They're really bright, obviously, and the issue with that is that it's signaling to your brain with those same cells in your eyes, with those wavelengths of light from the artificial blue light, that it's not time to wind down, it's not time to sleep. Plus, there's a lot of other health risks from doing so, but if we're just talking about sleep, just minimize that. So how do you do that? Well, turn your lights off in your ceiling and maybe use lamps. At least they have lamp shades. Use candles, obviously, ideally. You can use blue light blockers as well, something like that. That blocks the light. But obviously, the skin on your body has cells that detect light as well. So, wearing a t-shirt and shorts with this is going to help, but you'd rather actually not have your skin exposed to that light. In addition to that, don't eat too close to bedtime and don't exercise too close to bedtime. Just like the blue light, that's going to affect your circadian rhythm. You want to make sure that lasts as much as you can. You could even say 2 hours, but I think really the last 90 minutes or even an hour should be fine. Secondly, I want to talk about the caffeine window. Consume caffeine 90 minutes after waking, but 12 hours before bedtime. Why is that? Well, within the first 90 minutes upon waking, you're going to have a lot of cortisol and adrenaline waking your body up, which is a good thing. Having caffeine on top of your cortisol is going to escalate that so high that you're going to have a strong crash later on, but also you're going to affect the circadian rhythm of your body, meaning that you're interfering with the cortisol release at that time through your caffeine, and it's not going to be natural. So you want to wait at least 90 minutes to actually do that. You're going to find you're not going to crash in the afternoon either. And I say 12 hours for bedtime because caffeine has a half-life of 6 hours. So if you give yourself at least 12 hours for bedtime, that means that you're actually allowing the caffeine in your system to reduce by half and then reduce by half again. So you're only going to have a quarter of caffeine in your system if, let's say, you have a coffee at 10 a.m. and you go to bed at 10 p.m. That's usually what I do. That would be really important because having caffeine too close to bedtime is going to mess with your adenosine receptors and it's just a disaster for sleep. So yeah, please don't do that. Even if you can sleep having caffeine late, the sleep itself will not be as restful. You're not going to get into that deep REM sleep as much as you would if you minimize that caffeine. Next point I want to touch on is to have a good day. Obviously, we all want to have good days. That's a no-brainer. But specifically in terms of sleep, performing fulfilling work, things that you enjoy, is, in my opinion, going to really affect your sleep, because you're going to go to bed feeling satisfied, feeling like you actually did something that day. Now, you can work a 12-hour shift if you want to, but if that is not fulfilling, not aligned to your purpose or things you want to do, then it's not going to have the same impact. So ideally do something that you enjoy, but if you have to work a job that you don't enjoy, that's fine. Even if you have half an hour spare in the day to do something that you like, work on a side project, or maybe you love painting and you want to paint something, or maybe, I don't know, whatever it might be, work on something that you enjoy. You're going to be a lot more fulfilled, and that's going to help you sleep. Obviously exercise. So, having a big gym session a day means you're going to sleep like a baby at night, or maybe you love playing squash, or you like running, or whatever it is. Just be active, move about, give your body a reason to rest. If you barely walk around or do anything in the day, you're not exercising, then your body isn't going to feel tired enough to rest. Obviously hit 10K steps, get that movement up. And finally, being outside. Much like in the morning, it's important to get that specific morning sunlight with those wavelengths of light to reinforce your circadian rhythm. It's also important to just get light throughout the day so your brain and body knows that it's daytime when you're in the day. Being inside with no natural light is not good, because your brain is not going to know what's going on. Is it daytime, nighttime? We'll be very confused. So get as much natural light as you can during the day within reason, assuming it's safe. Even if it's consistent, you'd rather have 5-minute exposures to natural light throughout the day rather than one 25-minute exposure. You're just reinforcing to your brain and that circadian rhythm that it's daytime. And then it sets an anchor point each time you get exposed to that sun. So when nighttime comes, your brain knows, okay, it's night now. I'm going to start relaxing. The last point is going to be about the sleep itself, so things before and during bedtime. Number one, cool, quiet, and dark for your sleeping condition. Cool, quiet, and dark. So cool meaning maybe crack a window open if it's safe to do so, to allow some fresh air in overnight if it's not too cold. If it's the summer, maybe consider putting a fan on. I wouldn't do air conditioning, because that's going to take the moisture out of your throat and your body, not good, and the air. So I'd just do a fan or cracking open a window if you can. Make it quiet, so obviously don't have sounds and noises on if you can help it. If you live in a loud environment, you can put some white noise on or something like that, or some rain sounds or whatever can help you go to sleep, or even just the sound of the fan can help a lot of people. Make sure it's dark, so no lights if you can. Try and have blackout curtains, or just make sure it's a nice and dark environment so your body knows it's time to sleep. I mentioned natural bedding fibers. This is good for your health overall, but I would say stick to cotton, linen, or wool. Obviously, wool in winter, linen summer, and cotton for either. This is going to help regulate temperature, so that way you can actually stay cool. Because one of the ways that your body wakes up is it heats your body temperature up in the few hours before you wake up. So if you're getting hot during the night, or you're not in a cool environment, your body might think that it's that heat from your body trying to wake you up in the morning. So that's why you might wake up hot in the night. It's not the morning, you're just in a hot room. So try and make it cool if you can. Things you can take before bed to help you sleep. Chamomile tea is a classic one, very cheap, very readily available. Make sure you get loose leaf tea though. Don't want it in a tea bag where you're heating that microplastic and boiling it and getting that into your tea. Use just normal loose leaf tea with obviously filtered water. Magnesium before bed. I'll do a bit of glycinate in a drink sometimes. Any form of magnesium should be fine. Optional. Again, if you're doing all this lifestyle stuff, you probably don't need that, but this could help if you want to. And sometimes it's just nice to have a nice tea before bed, or maybe some bone broth or something warm, which is going to help you feel relaxed. You can have a shower before bed, a warm shower. That could help some people too. And finally, wind down and de-stimulate. If your head's hitting that pillow, you shouldn't be stressed and thinking about things. You should be going into bed feeling tired, looking forward to sleep. So I like reading a book before bed, pretty simple. This relates to the previous point about that last 90 minutes, not eating, stimulating, using devices. What are you going to do with all that time? Well, maybe read a book, maybe talk to someone, meditate, stretch, whatever you need to do. I like to just read a book. That helps me wind down and forget about the day and actually relax a bit. So that's the simple sleep protocol. I hope that helped you. If anyone else has anything else to share, please do so below so we can help each other get better sleep.